Well, I think I speak for all of us in the U.S. government to say that certainly he is not getting it back.
Hi guys, it's Yad from Warhawk Defense. In a surprising geopolitical twist, Russian President Vladimir Putin has stirred the waters by asserting that the United States should bring back Alaska to Russia. Here we explore the context, implication, reactions surrounding this unexpected proposal. Stay with us, we will see the hilarious tweet of the usually drunken Medvedev also.
Russia will allocate funds for an effort to find, register, and ensure legal protection of Russia's property abroad, including property of the Soviet Union and the Russian Empire. A relevant decree, signed by Russian President Vladimir Putin, will allocate funds for the purpose to the Department of Foreign Property of the Administrative Directorate of the President of the Russian Federation. The funds will be allocated to cover expenses related to the process of searching the real estate property owned by the Russian Federation, the former Russian Empire, the former USSR, as well as for due registration of property rights and legal protection of this property. Another decree allocates funds to cover the department's expenses for maintaining and using Russia's federal property abroad. In other words, Russia will ask from the United States to give them back Alaska, which was bought in the past. The State Department on Monday brushed off reports of Russian President Vladimir Putin ordering his government to look into the nation's former real estate abroad, saying Alaska would be staying in American hands. The decree, which comes amid Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, did not specifically mention Alaska, though it caught the attention of military bloggers who argued Putin was using the decree to declare the 1867 Russian sale of the last frontier state to the U.S. is illegal. Well, I think I can speak for all of us in the U.S. government to say that certainly he's not getting it back. State Department Principal Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel said during a Monday press briefing, prompting laughter from his audience.
Again, move to Russia if I may. Putin apparently today signed an order declaring a 1983 sale of Alaska to the United States as illegitimate, quote unquote. Do you have a response to that?
So let me just understand that he signed something today that said the sale of Alaska is illegitimate.
Right.
Well, I think I speak for all of us in the U.S. government to say that certainly he is not getting it back.
The Institute for the Study of War last week noted the exact parameters of what constitutes current or historical Russia property are unclear. The Kremlin may use the protection of its claimed property in countries outside of its internationally recognized borders to forward soft power mechanisms in post-Soviet and neighboring states, ultimately aimed at internal destabilization, the Institute wrote in an assessment of the Russian offensive campaign. It pointed to a Telegram post from a military blogger who suggested Russia could start enacting the law in Alaska and parts of Eastern Europe, the Caucasus, and Central Asia. Putin, in a 2014 question and answer with a studio audience, called the 1867 sale inexpensive and argued people should not get worked about it. We can calculate the equivalent amount, but it was definitely inexpensive. Russia is a northern country with 70% of its territory located in the north and the far north. Alaska is not located in the southern hemisphere either, is it? It's cold out there as well. Let's not get worked up about it, all right? He said. While Putin appeared to downplay the sale, Russian lawmaker Sergei Mironov in December hinted at Moscow reclaiming its previous territories in the future. Did you want a new world order? Receive and sign. Venezuela annexed a 24th state, Guyana Essequibo. This is happening right under the nose of the once great hegemon of the United States. All that remains is for Mexico to return Texas and the rest. It's time for Americans to think about their future, and also about Alaska, Mironov wrote on X, formerly Twitter, last month. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev joked about the State Department's response later Monday, writing on X, "According to a State Department representative, Russia is not getting back Alaska, which was sold to the U.S. in the 19th century. This is it then, and we've been waiting for it to be returned any day. Now war is unavoidable," with a laughing emoji attached. And let's see the other news. The oil refinery in Tuapse is burning tonight. These attacks will continue to escalate until Putin finally realizes that he has overreached himself with Ukraine. Ukrainian HUR revealed details of numerous covert operations against enemy rear infrastructure by the group of Lieutenant Colonel Oleg Baby, who perished in an engagement after destroying and disabling 3 enemy Tu-22M bombers. In his last battle, his unit neutralized 3 enemy Tu-22 aircraft that bombed Ukraine. In order to destroy the Russian bombers, Ukrainian reconnaissance officers covered more than 600 kilometers of enemy territory on foot. They received an extremely important task: to stop numerous airstrikes on peaceful cities of Ukraine. Task was completed. However, it turned out to be the last for Oleg Baby, the commander who provided coverage for the escape of his team. The hero of Ukraine, Colonel Oleg Baby, was a reconnaissance officer who, from the beginning of the war, took an active part in the destruction of the Russian occupation forces. From the first days of the large-scale invasion by Russians, he organized and carried out special operations in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine and enemy territory, which actually changed the course of this war. To his credit, there are 9 successful reconnaissance forays into the enemy's rear, 12 special incursions to organize and support the resistance movement on the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine and in the enemy's rear, detection of up to 70 important strategic objects of the enemy, command posts, military equipment, engineering and fortification equipment, etc. Information about them was used by the armed forces of Ukraine to plan operations to liberate temporarily occupied territories and inflict damage on important enemy targets. Thanks to the successful performance of the tasks by Colonel Baby's group, it was possible to disorganize the logistics of the occupiers, destroy their important facilities and elements of critical infrastructure. Entire divisions of the Russian occupation forces lost combat capability. The system of commanding troops and weapons suffered communication disruptions and thus suffered losses of efficiency in interaction with their rear. The last successfully completed task of Oleg Baby's intelligence group, the destruction and disabling of 3 Russian Tu-22M3 bombers, significantly disrupted the plans of the Russian military political leadership to launch missile strikes on the territory of Ukraine, and in fact completely destabilized the operation of airfields and long-range aviation bases. It is obvious that this caused significant economic losses to the aggressor country and provoked panic among the local population and Russian military personnel, because the forces and means of the special services of the Russian Federation were dispersed. And one more thing should not be forgotten: damage to the image of the so-called invincibility of the Russian army and the heroism of its military and political leadership. August 2023. As part of a reconnaissance group, Oleg Baby covered more than 600 kilometers on foot through the territory of the enemy in order to carry out a special combat mission to stop the terrorist aerial bombardment of peaceful Ukrainian cities by the Russians. Having made their way into the deep rear of the enemy, the officers accomplished their mission. They destroyed a Russian Tu-22M3 bomber and disabled 2 more, but they themselves suffered irreparable losses. Returning to the territory under the control of Ukraine, the reconnaissance group of Colonel Oleg Baby was ambushed and engaged in an unequal battle with the Russian invaders. In this battle, on August 30th, 2023, while provide cover to the escape of his comrades in arms, Ukrainian reconnaissance officer Lieutenant Colonel Oleg Baby was mortally wounded and died. For his heroic feat, Oleg Baby was awarded the title of Hero of Ukraine with the award of the Golden Star Order, posthumously. The hero is survived by his wife and 2 small children. The youngest daughter was only 1 year old at the time of her father's death.
Thank you guys for watching this Ukrainian update. Stay with us, we will always have the newest update, newest reports, and comment, like, subscribe, become a member, and stay strong.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.